Hello, curling fans, and welcome to draw number 6 at the Stu Sells U18 Tankard in Barrie, Ontario. I'm here, Matt Deiser, alongside Kyle Stratton, and we will be bringing to you St. Amand versus Schaeffer at what was supposed to be a 7:15 draw, has now turned into a 7:43 draw. But it is okay. We are getting there, and it's just practice right now. But Kyle, tell me a couple things you've noticed from this weekend so far.
Well, I've been behind the TVs for the majority of the weekend today, but the ice is looking absolutely beautiful this weekend. A lot more.
You heard it there, guys. Ice has been great. Kyle and myself played in this event, the U20 event last weekend, and the ice was running very fast and curling a lot as well. And it's ice conditions you love to see for huge events, such as the U18 one going on today.
Just as we see on the screen right now, we can see Team Schaeffer recording their draw to the button measurement. These measurements will be determined, will determine who has hammer. The closest one to the button will get the hammer and will be added to their LSD score for this shot.
And we are now live on draw number 6 at the Stu Sells Junior. Team St. Amand with hammer, as they wanted the draw to the button in practice. And we see there Schaeffer hogging their first rock. Shooting for Team St. Amand now is Mackenzie Crowley. St. Amand is looking to draw to the top 4 here, or throw center guard, pardon me, as they look to get a little bit aggressive in the first end, which is things we like to see. And it's a common theme for U18 curling to play junkie compared to a U20 game or a men's or women's game. Just because they're more aggressive, and it just means lots of rocks in play, lots of possible points, and should count for an interesting end. A tough couple first rocks for the St. Amand team, or for the Schaeffer team, pardon me, as Grace Curley hogged both of her first 2 rocks. St. Amand is going to look to capitalize on this opportunity, and even though they have hammer, they elected to put up this center guard and play towards the middle. So we'll see how this plays out.
I love that decision, Matt. It's a great aggressive call to start the game. It really shows to your opponents what you're looking to do, what you're capable of, how you learn the ice in a pre-game practice, and going all out in your first end. Love to see it.
Take it to them early. That's right. Now up for Team Schaeffer is their second, Rachel Nickel. Now, a funny story about Rachel Nickel is her third, Valerie Martin, claimed that Rachel's last name was actually Nichel, and she was very actually confident about it until Rachel came up herself and told me that it was Nickel. So I just wanted to clarify that in case anyone thought it was. That's my.
Are you just muting yourself or do you want me to mute you?
I'm muted. I'll just mute myself.
Take a chance.
Just getting out in a little bit of wide stuff here. Might be a bit fresh, still a bit slower than what the girls expected.
But it's a rock and play for Schaeffer, which is a good start. And St. Amand here just over curling a little. Looks like it's going to come up just a little short of their guard, failing to come around the center guards, but leaves them in good position in front of the house with 3 center guards there. Kyle, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they're definitely taking control of that control zone right there and using that to their advantage. Even though they have hammer, rocks up front still helps. You can tap them in if you need. They're always there. They're your rocks. It's not bad.
Now, although they are light, Schaeffer looks to capitalize on this opportunity and bury one of their own behind it to reclaim control of this end. And this one looks like it's going to overcurl just a bit and come up short, similar to where St. Amand's last one came up.
Yeah, that's a few times you've seen that path moving just a bit more. Maybe it's curling a bit more in that spot now that they've thrown a few rocks down there. We've seen that happen in practice before. The ice paths change, and that's just something that the girls might need to pick up on.
Yeah, and before this draw, there was a scrape on the ice, so it might be running a little bit differently than they've seen in the past couple of games. Just something that the girls will have to take into account too. And a double peel attempt here by St. Amand ends up with one of their own coming into the top 8. Although it's open, it is a rock in the house, which is the first one we've seen so far this end.
Yeah, not a bad result by any means.
And it looks like Schaeffer is going to play a hit and roll here off of the yellow, looking to take out that yellow and take control of the house. This is Weiss's first for Schaeffer, so it's Sydney Holtzman throwing. This one's drifting a little bit outside. The outside sweeper's on it, trying to curl it over, looking to catch a piece, and it hits about a quarter of a rock and rolls out.
Looks like the girl signaled right out of her hand there. It was a bit heavy. That'll make the rock run a little bit straighter than what Alexis was asking for and what was planned, but that's all right. The rock is gone. That's the goal.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. Although it was maybe not her best throw, it still ended up with a decent result and didn't leave any yellow in play.
Love the peel call here for St. Amand. It leaves you for shots on her last, leaves the front open. Unfortunate, there was a stick up the center line there. That's all right. It still clears things up closer to the house. Can still get around in there through a few different ports.
Yeah, getting rid of one yellow was pretty good there, but you kept your shooter around, which is something they didn't want to do. And still leaves Schaeffer with the opportunity to come around and bury a good one, possibly forcing St. Amand to one. And here's Schaeffer looking to draw around, and they tap on St. Amand's center guard into the house, drifting to the back 4. Will it stop? And it stops just back 8. Wide open, but it's a rock in the house for St. Amand as they look to, interesting call here, peel again as they are already sitting one in the house.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate on that last. Definitely St. Amand is going to look to capitalize on that one with one of their rocks now in play. Try to get a deuce out of this one.
Yeah, they're electing to go for the double peel here to keep things open, and that's just an unfortunate miss there. An unfortunate miss for the Vice on St. Amand, or on Schaeffer, pardon me. Nope, St. Amand. That's Valerie Martin, pardon me, guys. And so Schaeffer with a draw opportunity here to bury a good one in the 4-foot. Maybe looking to steal now as there's only 4 rocks left to play.
Love this call. Very aggressive. Try to get your steal here. Haven't played this side much. Hopefully they picked up on it, what it was doing on this side during their pregame practice, and use it to their advantage.
Here's Schaeffer's first, looking to draw around and capitalize on an opportunity that was left to them after St. Amand missed on their last. Line looks pretty close, got to curl over a bit. Sweepers are going on it, looks a little light. And a beautiful shot
draw
there from the skipper, leaving it just back 4, but dead buried. And leaving a difficult shot for St. Amand here on her first.
It looks like they've elected to play a backline hack weight shot here to try to get rid of the red.
Yeah, St. Amand here looking to get her deuce back into play by taking out the red in the back 4, bringing that yellow in the back 8 into play. A good chance here for St. Amand to score 2.
Looks like they're getting on it just to curl a little bit. It looks like a really close shot here if it moves over just a little bit more. Really nice weight on that shot. Just didn't curl up quite like they expected.
Yeah, and it still leaves them in an okay spot there, Kyle. It's hard to tell if they're shot or second shot. I believe red is second shot. Yellow, the one that just got thrown, looks to be the shot stone. That being said, Schaeffer is still electing to go around the center guard looking for that steal in the first end.
Yep, she just threw it. She threw perfect weight on her first, perfect line. If she can manage to do the same thing on this one, it'll be a beautiful shot and a really hard shot for 2.
Yeah, for sure, Kyle. This one looks like it's a little heavier than her first. The line looks to be okay. Sweepers haven't touched it at all, just getting it to curl so it doesn't wreck on the guard.
Looks like they're trying to sweep it on the back one just to try to get it to stick in the house. Unfortunately, it over curls on them with a little bit heavier weight than what they were planning. This will leave St. Amand with a shot for 3.
Yeah, wide open hit for St. Amand here. There are a couple of corner guards that could come into play and get in their way, but pretty straightforward here for them. We just saw a miss from St. Amand, leaving them with this opportunity, and looks like it paid off for Schaeffer throwing up that center at the start of the game, and they have a chance for a big end here to kick it off.
Announce is not. I'm not clicking that. I'm not doing this.
Sorry everyone, we are still here. We just are having a little bit of technical difficulties behind the stream here. It appears as though everything on YouTube is working fine. There are just some technical glitches with the microphones we are working through currently.
Sorry about those technical issues, folks. We are back now. It appears as though St. Amand came up with the hit and roll away and ended up scoring 2. A good start for the St. Amand team. You always want to capitalize when you have hammer. Three rocks in now, Kyle. It appears this end is going to be a little bit cleaner than the last end, although Schaeffer is electing to throw a corner guard on their fourth rock here.
I do really like the, corner guard call. Clean is exactly what St. Amand wants here. They're up 2. They're going to try to keep it clean. They don't want rocks in play. They want a nice simple end to try to force a 1. Blank is also perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. Here, this young Schaeffer team is going to have to push through here. It's always difficult to give up a couple points in that first end, but There's a lot of curling left, and we'll see how the rest of the game plays out.
That's just it. We are just past the first end. We're in the second now. There are 7 more ends of play to go. Giving up 2 in the first is not the end of the world by any means. That could easily be taken back right here with a couple of good shots put together.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. And the Schaeffer team looks to be curling this one over. Not exactly sure what the call was, but the rock ends up just top 8 on the corner side.
I think they were going for another corner guard there, Matt. I think it just slipped in the rings a little more than they hoped it would. That'll give the St. Amand team a chance to hit here, keeping the end clean, putting the pressure on the Schaeffer team to make some shots in order to get their one or even get their blank.
And a nice shot there by Rachel Nickel leaves St. Amand sitting 2 without hammer in the second end. Shooting now for the Schaeffer team is Avery Howell. And the skip, Alexis Schaeffer, elected for a corner guard on this throw here, and it seemed there was a little bit of disagreement with the sweepers as they were yelling down to the other end, but it appears as though they've agreed on hitting the one in the forefoot and trying to keep this game a little cleaner.
I do like that call of the hit. I think the corner guard is getting a little bit risky with 2 rocks in play. Attempting the hit here definitely keeps the end a lot cleaner, and then you'd be looking for a miss from the St. Amand team again. Unfortunately, that one slipped by the rock, didn't end up hitting it, giving Team St. Amand another shot to get another one of their rocks in the rings, really putting the pressure to the Schaeffer team here.
Yeah, for sure, Kyle. And we have seen Avery Howell make a fair amount of her shots so far this game, so here a draw to sit 3 would be huge.
Sweeper staying right off it here. Looks like it might come up a bit heavy. Not the end of the world though, so long as they hit the backing that they have there in the forefoot, which looks like they will. That rock just slips out of the back of the 12 there. No harm there, still in the same position. Those rocks are pretty well level, making it really hard to get a double. Get rid of them both. Still keeping the pressure on the Schaeffer team in the second end.
Yeah, and Kyle, although it was a miss, it's one of those ones where it's not going to harm you at all. So getting the draw weight down for the rest of the game is really important, especially for the St. Amand team who took 2 in the first end and is looking to just keep it clean and score a few more. And here's Avery Howell. Appears as though she's throwing another corner guard or possibly a freeze on the side yellow here in the 8-foot. Line looks to be coming in a little nice. Sweepers were signaling as if it was really heavy. And it'll hit the yellow and roll just behind the yellow in the forefoot, about half buried. Really nice shot there from Avery Howell, even if it wasn't the call. The result is what matters, and it's a good outcome here for the Schaeffer team as they look to take 2 with hammer.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Matt. The rock may not be shot at the moment. It's really hard to tell with the color of those rings right there. It'd be really great if we had our overhead cameras. Unfortunately, those aren't working for us. But still a really, really good shot. And now that puts the pressure on St. Amand to make a shot here to not give up a deuce.
Yeah, Kyle, exactly. And this isn't an easy shot as the red is 3/4 buried. St. Amand sweeping hard to get it by their own yellow, and it just wrecks on it, missing the back red. And there's frustration there from the St. Amand Vice. That's Valerie Martin. It's a tough miss, especially when your team's playing so well and you have an opportunity to force the other team, and one miss like that can just change the whole end. Schaeffer here with Hammer looking to put a little bit more pressure on the St. Amand team as they look to draw to sit 2 and capitalize on their hammer.
Sweepers must like it. They're staying really close to that rock, following it the whole way down. Looks close, maybe coming in a touch heavy, bumping that back one a little bit there in the back 4. Sweepers right off it now. Just a little bump, not the end of the world in that shot. That double is very, very hard to make to get rid of them both. Looks like they're just going to elect to hit the red rock in the back 4 there, right behind the yellow, and giving the Schaeffer team a possible shot for 2, hopefully a shot for 1 if this is made perfectly.
Yeah, Kyle, you said it perfectly there. Although they aren't sitting 2 after that shot, it still puts the pressure on this St. Amand team to make a good one in order to force. And there's the hit made by the St. Amand team. Unfortunately, it just rolls out to the left side of the rings, leaving the Schaeffer team a hit or draw for 2.
Yeah, that was just the break that Schaeffer was looking for. They just needed one to come up not exactly perfectly for the St. Amand team. There was that shot, and now they have a chance to capitalize on that miss and possibly get their deuce out of this end.
Yeah, an interesting call here, Kyle. They seem to be playing the guard on their Vice's second here. Looking to possibly capitalize on a 3 instead of a 2, playing very aggressively.
There for the deuce. It's really hard to tell from this angle. Oh, sorry, not for the deuce. That was St. Amand's first shot there. Really good shot, hit and roll. Still leaves the pressure on Schaeffer here to make the shot really, really well, as to not leave an open hit for St. Amand to sit 2 here.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. And it appears they're throwing the draw again here, keeping that 3 in play. They don't want to play it 2-2 open, just getting rid of the yellow rock. I like the aggressiveness here by the Schaeffer team, really trying to put pedal to the metal after giving up that 2 in the first end. This is Tabitha St. Amand throwing, or pardon me, this is Alexis Schaeffer throwing her first here in the second end. It's coming down the ice. Sweepers are curling it over just a bit so it can get to the nose of that yellow rock, looking to freeze. And it's a little bit heavy as it taps back the yellow just into the back 12, leaving red what appears to be sitting 2 going into Skip's last stones here.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell between that back red on the center line there and the back yellow on the right-hand side, which one's shot over which. Still, it will be here a shot for 1 for sure, possibly 2.
And St. Amand throwing her first here, looking to get a force out of the Schaeffer team. Possibly looking to play the double and sit 3 going into Schaeffer's last, but even a hit nose forcing her to make her last will be a win in the books of St. Amand after this end.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. That would be the ideal shot.
And this is Tabitha.
Tabitha.
Tabitha St. Amand throwing her last here in the second end, looking to keep Schaeffer to a single or possibly a steal. And sweepers are on her hard, keeping it straight, looking to make the double on the back ones. And she just misses the red, but sits shot in the top 8, making Schaeffer look at 1 on her last, needing to make a hit and stick for 2.
Yeah, that was a really good attempt there. Very close to getting that shot made to sit 3. Still a good result in that end. It really forces a shot here for 1.
Yeah, and there was something we haven't seen too much in that spot there. We have seen the ice running fairly straight on draws and corner guards as they weren't getting up. So on that hit, to see it come over at the end and just miss the double by about an inch is heartbreaking for the St. Amand team. But it appears as though the Schaeffer team is looking to just draw to the forefoot. So possibly that one in the back 8, the red, may be shot over the one in the top 8, the yellow in the top 8. But Schaeffer is looking to get at least a single here as they're throwing their last rock here in 2. And here is Tabitha. Releases it out of their hands, and the sweepers believe it is heavy as they're not even touching it. Rock's coming in hot. Schaeffer's following it down, hoping for it to stick in the forefoot here.
Looks like the rock's making an attempt to move over to try to get a piece of that yellow on its way by. Unfortunately, does not. Sliding right through the rings. It's definitely 1 for yellow, possibly 2, or maybe 3, but I think it's just a question of 1 or 2 here.
Yeah, I believe the one in the top 8 foot is shot stone. The teams are looking at it now. A possible measure coming up here. But it seems as though it's settled, and we'll get you the score as soon as they let us know what the score is. For now, we'll take a break and head to commercials for a couple words from some of our sponsors.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stew Cells team's brand new listing. So go to stewcells.ca, see all the photos, the videos, and give me Stu a call for a personal tour.
And welcome back here to the third end. We still are not sure exactly what the score was of that last one, but it appears as though St. Amand is throwing first, which means there was some sort of score for yellow in that second end. And St. Amand will be trying to steal once again in this third end as Schaeffer looks to get on the board.
Yeah, St. Amand here electing to come into the house. I love that call. Keep it clean just like they did last time. It worked very well in the last end for them. They're looking to do the exact same thing as they just did.
Yeah, and that one for Mackenzie Crawley just goes to the back tee line. Maybe not ideal as you're looking to be in the top 4, but still way better than guard. As Kyle said, trying to keep this end open and clean. Now for the Schaeffer team, it's going to be the complete opposite as Grace Curley looks to throw up a corner guard here and get her team in a little bit more of an aggressive pace, maybe score a few points and take back a couple of points on the St. Amand. The rock isn't curling up as much as they thought it would, and the guard is going to end up just on the center line, possibly helping out the St. Amand team more than the Schaeffer team, but St. Amand will not be complaining as they look to throw another draw, this time just in the top 12 foot, looking to control the top of the house here, Kyle.
Yeah, just an unfortunate. Well, if it was over. Yeah, that last shot was unfortunate in the spot it ended up. The weight was absolutely beautiful if it just moved over a couple more feet to the wings. Yeah, this one, that shot helping Schaeffer, or helping St. Amand a little bit there. Looks like they're using it pretty well. Hopefully that rock will curl up a bit more.
Yeah, Kyle, and you've seen that spot run straight now twice on back-to-back shots as Schaeffer's didn't curl up as much as they wanted it to. And same with St. Amand's there on the lead second. That's Mackenzie Crawley on her second rock and leaving it just short of the house, possibly because it got out into a little bit of a weirder path. And we see that the score now has been put up, and we see St. Amand score 2 in the last end, making the score 4-0 after 2.
No.
Back 4, the back 4 yellow rock. Sweepers saying it's a little bit heavy, not touching it at all. Rock needs to curl up a ton to get off of that yellow corner guard, and they're trying to push it over here. Weight looks really nice on this rock as it's coming in super nice. Sweepers trying to get it to the top 4, and they leave it just a little bit short, possibly biting, but if not, it is a double center guard for the Schaeffer ring. Now the St. Amand team calling their first interaction. That is one new thing that has been implemented into the game of curling within the past couple of years. If you're more of a traditional fan or one who watches men's and women's curling, you may be used to the old 2 timeout system where throughout the game you get 2 timeouts from ends 1 to 8, and it doesn't matter when you use them. Now, last year they implemented what are called interactions, where you get 1 interaction with your coach who sits on the backboard per end. The interactions can only be 30 seconds, and that time is allocated on your time clock so that the players are not running out of time while they do so. Now this year, the rules have slightly changed with the interactions, as instead of getting 1 per end, pardon me, I have been corrected. The rules have not changed for U18s, as it is still 1 interaction per end. So the St. Amand team using 1 there to call a hit and roll off the red, and although they don't manage to roll it all, they do push it back to the back 12 and have another rock in control there at the top of the house.
Yeah, Matt, those interactions you were just speaking about are definitely beneficial to the younger generation in the sport of curling, especially U18, U20 level, whereas in other sports your coach is always on the bench with you. Curling's never really been that way till now. This way we're seeing a lot more positive interactions between the coach and the players, electing to give insight into the strategy calls of what's going on in that end and what the coaches feel should be called at that moment. We can see maybe not the exact result that the coach was thinking of on that one. Definitely something we'll probably bring up after the game, but still very effective, leaving a yellow rock in front of the house, which they can always use to promote.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. And here's Schaeffer now looking to take advantage of this last miss by the St. Amand ring as they look to come around the 2 center guards, and unfortunately they just wreck on their own red, but roll to a pretty good spot as they leave themselves now 2 corners, and St. Amand now goes up to peel the center guards. little bit of an interesting choice here for the St. Thomas rink, as normally when you don't have hammer, you want to keep that center line a little bit crowded, even if you are up 4-0, which is probably why this decision was made, trying to keep it clean and open, not looking to give up a lot of points here and lose their lead. So a safer play from the St. Thomas rink, but not something you see often. And the double peel just missed there by the St. Amand team, but gets rid of the red. That was a trouble rock for the St. Amand rink, and they look to have control of the top of the house.
Yeah, there'll be some discussion now in that Schaeffer team, in the Schaeffer team about what they should do here. They are sitting one in the back four, out counted by the yellow on the back button. Looks like they've called for a tap on that red.
Yeah, Kyle, looks like they're calling a tap on the corner guard here. I think the call was changed to just a straight draw, trying to get to the one on the back button. A good freeze here could lead to a possible hit on their next couple of rocks, leaving the Schaeffer rink with an opportunity for a big end.
Yeah, I do like the call of the draw there. It does leave the option, if you are heavy, which it looks like they might be, you can always tap this, which looks like a very good second shot in this case. It looks very close to going back on that yellow, which it just nicks and rolls to the back 12 there. Not a bad result of that shot, just a little bit heavier than what they were expecting out of her hand, and that works all the same. It leaves a little bit of wider path for a draw there in the event that Alexis does need to make that draw on their last shot for one.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. Even though it wasn't exactly what the Schaeffer rink was looking for, it ended up okay for them. The only negative here is that they did leave their red wide open here for the St. Amand rink as they look to take it out and sit two. And the outside sweeper's going on it hard to curl it over, and they will just roll out, clearing it off. No danger left for the St. Amand rink as they look to continue to keep this end clean and not give up a big end to the Schaeffer rink. And Schaeffer rink here looking to capitalize on the rollout there from the St. Amand rink as they will draw around. T-line looking to freeze once again on the back yellow in hopes of scoring at least 2 points. That's always the goal when you have hammer, to cut down this lead of 4 and get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. Like you said, the goal here is to limit that score as close as you can. The tighter the game is in the earlier ends, it does look close. Interesting, unfortunate curl here. It is curling. Bumps both of the front yellows, possibly tapping that front yellow in. Still leaves the draw path for Alexis on her last if she needs. There also is a tap on that red should something move in that front yellow.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Kyle. You saw that one over curl, and we've seen a lot on the other side of the sheet run really straight. So possibly that's something that these teams have to look out for, that the right side of the sheet may be curling just a touch more than the left-hand side, and something that it seems as though the St. Amand team has picked up on a little quicker than the Schaeffer team, giving them the advantage so far.
Aggressive call here from the St. Amand team to put one in the top 8 semi-buried position. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to slide right through the rings.
Yeah, and that's a tough one there for Valerie on her second, as they look to capitalize on a couple misses from the Schaeffer team, and just to slide one through there isn't too great. We saw her do that in the last end as well, and it's something that she'll have to adjust for in the next couple of ends and look to get that draw weight down.
Looks like the Schaeffer rink has elected the draw to the back, to the front of that back yellow there. Again, it looks like that rock is just over curling on them like it did last time.
Yeah, and you see that spot once again there, Kyle. Something our coach likes to tell us is that when you see something in a path once, maybe don't take it so seriously, but when you see it twice, it has to be a pattern. So that's something that the Schaeffer team might want to look into, as that rock in that path over curled twice there on them. Looked as though it was okay weight, and it probably would have been pretty close shot with the right line. Unfortunately, a little tight. Leaves the Saint Amand team here with a draw to sit 2.
Again, not the end of the world with that miss, though. Still does leave that draw path open, which is what the Saint Amand team here will be looking to close to try to limit the scoring possibilities for the Schaeffer rink.
Yeah, the Schaeffer team created staggered guards in front of that one in the yellow, so they're really hoping this one goes a little bit deep so they still have that draw path, whereas Saint Amand is looking to just plug it up, guard it up, and hopefully sit 2. This is Tabitha Saint Amand with her first in the third end. Lots of great curling going on this weekend. Aside from the U18 championships that are being held, the Portuguese mixed doubles national event is also going on this weekend. So if you guys are around the Barrie area, be sure to come on down to the Barrie Curling Club and tune in for some great curling, not only with the U18 teams, but also with some good national and international competition. And here's the draw from Saint Amand. Looks to be on a good line. Not curling as much as we saw the Schaeffer rocks go there. And this one is sliding just a little bit deep as it ticks off the back yellow and the back 4. Ending up just in the back 12, which appears to be second shot, but leaves that draw path open, Kyle, for the Schaeffer. For Alexis Schaeffer here, as she looks to bury a good one and score her deuce in the third end, pardon me.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. That draw path is still open for her, and as we've seen, there is curl in that spot, so you can get around that front yellow rock, freeze it onto the front of the back 4 there, and it will be very tough for the Saint Amand team to follow that up.
Yeah, and if I'm in Saint Amand rink right now, I wouldn't be too worried, as if she even makes a good one here, you'll always have that same shot, looking to force and only give up one, giving yourself a 4-1 lead going into the 4th with hammer.
Very good position to be in.
And here's Tabitha, pardon me, here is Alexis Schaeffer throwing her first draw in the third end, and the sweepers are on it. Line looks really close, and it just seems to come up a little bit light, plugging up her own hole for the draw to the 4-foot. And the Saint Amand team will look to guard that up as they sit 2 in the back of the house. And here the Saint Amand team is looking to throw guard just somewhere along that center line so that the Schaeffer team does not have a run back of some sorts to score one here. A very aggressive call, as the Saint Amand team has done all end, and they look to be in good shape to add a couple more to their lead here in the third.
Yeah, that's just it, Matt. The Saint Amand team is sitting 2 at the moment, looking to guard that up to try to at least force one, maybe even get a steal of 1 or 2 out of this end, which would look very, very good for them.
And here skips last for the Saint Amand team. And sweepers are on it early, looking to keep the line okay and get that over the hog line for a good guard here. Cleaning it in now, looks to be on a pretty good line. Just looking to cross the center line here. And it's got to stop. Should be okay, does the job. It doesn't look as though there is much for Schaeffer here on her last in order to score 1. We'll see what she can think of.
Yeah, Matt, that was a pretty well-placed guard. It doesn't leave a whole lot to run into the rings here. It does look like they are calling a tap on that red on the left side there, the very, very far left there. Interesting turn they're throwing at this. We've seen it curl here in this spot. We've also seen it run straight. They must really know this path to get it to move like that.
Yeah, I think over the past couple rocks, they saw a lot of their out-turn draws over curl, so they're probably a little more comfortable with the in-turn here as they look to top up their red and avoid another score from the St. Amand team. And here is Schaeffer's last in the fourth end, last rock, looking to score a single and cut the lead to just 3. The sweepers are not on it. It seems to be running okay, and it's over curling here. It may have picked as the rock went straight sideways. And sweepers seem to be a little bit shocked by how that rock reacted, and it ends up wrecking on the yellow center guard, giving up a steal of 2 for St. Amand, which gives them a 6-0 lead after the third end. Schaeffer will have hammer in the fourth as we come back from break. And we are back here in the fourth end at the Barrie Curling Club, where we have Team St. Amand leading the Schaeffer rink 6-0 here on sheet 3 on the 6th draw of the tournament here, as these teams look to qualify for the quarterfinals tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah, Matt, as we've seen here, the St. Amand rink has elected to throw it in again. Still agreeing with that call here. Keep it clean. It seems to have been working for them these past few ends. They're looking forward to maintaining the same in this one.
And the Schaeffer team here just running a little bit deep on their draw, or on their corner guard, as they slip into the rings. The ice seems to be very fast, running approximately a 16 seconds hog to hog for a T-line, which for those of you who don't know is compared to regular club curling is very fast. So these teams may not be used to it, as we've seen many draws go heavy. And here's the St. Amand team looking to capitalize on that Schaeffer miss as they look to take it out. And this one's running just a little bit straight, and it misses the red, and it takes out the back yellow as it sits there for what appears to be shot rock just behind the T-line. And Schaeffer will look to throw another corner guard here in order to capitalize with hammer and score a few points to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. Schaeffer hoping to get a few of their color rocks in front of the house this end. We've seen in the past few that it's been majority of yellow dominating rocks in that front of the rings there, which is the control zone, which is what Schaeffer is hoping to take control of for this end, hence the control zone.
Exactly, Kyle. And here's the lead for Schaeffer. This is Grace Curley, as she's throwing her second rock of the fourth end. And sweepers believe this one is heavy once again, as they are not touching it. But they hop on it now, and it looks to be coming in very nice as it comes to a stop just above the house. Or possibly just slips in, but it looks like it's just above the house, guarding just off the center line about a quarter of their own red and about half of the yellow that's in the back tee.
Yeah,
Now, Kyle, if you're Saint Amand here, what are you doing?
If I was Saint Amand here, I think I'd come in around from the right side, maybe play a backliner weight, try to hit and roll underneath. You may not lose that back red, but you should be sitting two if the shot is made to its full extent, which is perfectly acceptable for them.
And Saint Amand here looking to go a little more aggressive than you would have, Kyle, as they look to put one top 8 here and control the front of the house with one on the back tee line and possibly run up their score a little more and fully run away with this game here. A very aggressive call from a young team, and it just shows the experience of how they know the ice right now compared to the Schaeffer rink, and they're looking to take full advantage of that.
That's just it, Matt. They know they're comfortable. They've found their draw weight. Unfortunately, it overcurled on that one, but that's okay there. It's still a good scenario for them as they still have 2 yellows in the house with their 2 reds.
Yeah, and what's going on here is a discussion about the newly implemented rule that Curling Canada has put in place for both U18, U20, men's and women's curling across all of their events, and this is the no-tick rule. So similar to that of the free guard zone, on the first 5 rocks of the game, if one of the guards is touching the center line, it may not be moved off of the center line until after the 5th rock is thrown. So similar to the free guard zone where you're not allowed to hit out a guard, this one, you're not allowed to move it off the center line. And it appears as though the Schaeffer team has elected to keep around their guard that got tapped off the center line instead of removing the yellow from play and putting the red back. An interesting choice here from the Schaeffer rink. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, I agree. Very interesting decision. I think part of the reason they would have made this is that red that had been tapped is semi-guarding half of the rock, 3/4 of that red rock behind it. They're throwing now too. So they might feel that they could throw one up above, have their one in the 4-foot there, double guarded. That may even be the shot rock. It looks to me as it could be there. So I think that's their reasoning for electing to keep that rock where it is instead of removing the yellow rock that was thrown and putting that red rock back to where it had been tapped from.
Yeah, I agree, Kyle. It also opens up the yellow that's on the back tee line, so they do have a wide open hit here if they want to, and free access at that yellow. And it appears as though they're playing a draw here to sit 2, and as we've seen in this spot many times, the rock just runs straight on that side, and it comes down and taps the back yellow that was on the back tee just out of the house, and a great shot there by Schaeffer as they sit 2 with hammer in the 4th end.
Yeah, a really nice shot. May not have been the called shot, but still one that works very effectively. We can see here that Saint Amand is going to make a hit attempt to get rid of a few of these red rocks in their house. They're a bit uncomfortable with the amount of reds in play, given that they're up 6. Removing these, 1 or 2 of these rocks, definitely the right call here.
Yeah, Rachel Nickel here throwing a hit, and it appears as though it's curling over, and it's a hard sweep here for Saint Amand, and it hits the one that was half buried, ticks the one on the back line, or the back tee, and just rolls to the side of play and just out of the rings there. So although it didn't stick around, it moved some of the reds out of the way, and a good shot there from Rachel.
Very close to it, just over curled on her. Those rocks were almost side by side. One of the hardest doubles you can make in curling, because you have to make it so perfectly, hit those rocks in the right spot with the right weight. Very, very, very close one on that.
Yeah, I've seen Kyle miss a couple of those, so it doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me.
well, that has been known to happen every now and again, eh, Matt?
Just sometimes.
Thanks for bringing that up.
And here we have Schaeffer looking to put some more pressure on the Saint Amand team as they want to draw to the top 8 foot, guarding their own in the house and looking to sit 2.
Yeah, you notice, Matt, here they seem to be giving more ice than they were in the last few shots. Definitely picking up on how much the ice is moving. Very smart call here from the skip, Alexis Schaeffer.
Yeah, for sure. And the sweeper's going hard on it here, trying to get it to that top 12 or top 8 position as it's curling just about to the center line. And what a sweep here by the front end of the Saint Amand team, or the Schaeffer team, pardon me, but it still ends up just short. And although it's short, Kyle, it really does do the job, as we see Saint Amand here throwing a peel and wasting no time to do it.
No, I do love where that rock ended up. It again does force the peel here. Very tough doubles to make anywhere if you throw this peel. It looks like it's gonna. Oh, it was very close to the double there, just sweeping it out the back. Oh, just shy of the back 12, just hanging on the back 8 there. Very close shot. The Schaeffer rink's still in a fairly good position here. Looks like they are 1-2 by the looks of things to my eye, Matt. With the guard there still on the edge of the 8 rock, guarding the edge of the 8 rock. Interesting call here for the center guard. Usually you'd like to try to play to the wings if you have hammer. Alexis must be feeling that she wants to give the Saint Amand team a little bit of a harder shot instead of an open hit here.
Yeah, and if you look back at that shot by Valerie Martin there, where she tried to peel and ended up leaving a red on the corner, and the red dead buried behind. It's one of those unfortunate misses there for the Saint Amand team. So Schaeffer looks to capitalize on this by putting a little more pressure on them and throwing this center guard that appears to be over curling on them slightly, and it will be coming around the corner guard that just went up from that last rock. It comes up just short of the house here as the sweepers tried to save it, but they just could not.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice on that last one, Matt, Alexis elected to give a little bit less ice than she did on the previous shot, which was effectively the exact same shot she was hoping to throw. The first shot she gave edge of 12 there, and that one she gave just outside edge of 4. And as we see, it did curl that little bit more due to the path there.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Valerie Martin looking to bounce back after an unfortunate result of the peel on her last, and she's looking to hit the one on the center line, and she makes it and makes the roll, almost rolls buried behind her own yellow in the top 8, leaving Schaeffer with not too many opportunities here, with only 3 rocks left to score a deuce or more.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Matt. That roll there was very, very effective. It puts that rock in the top 8 foot in the thrower's eye, which, as you and I both know, any rocks in front of the one you are trying to hit is very distracting. You end up possibly focusing on that one a little bit more than the one you're trying to hit, and things do go a little bit awry in that scenario. So I do like that roll a lot.
Absolutely, Kyle. I definitely myself start to focus on the one that's in front and often hit it instead of the one that was called.
Yeah, maybe you should do that a little less.
We try sometimes, you know. We do see the Schaeffer rink here electing not to hit the wide open yellow and instead try to come around the corner gars, where they just wreck on the previously thrown red rock, and it rolls to a really good spot there, Kyle, just corner frozen on the yellow that was just thrown.
Yeah, I don't know, Matt. I think that might have been the called shot there, was a play on those top reds, because I think that weight was a little bit excessive if they were trying to draw. Either way, a beautiful roll onto that yellow stone in the back 8. It looks like she might have even tipped her red in to sit in the top 12 on the right side.
Yeah, it leaves her a lot of opportunity for her last 2 rocks here coming up, with a possible double opportunity to score a bundle, a handful. And it really puts the pressure on the Saint Amand team to make a good one here, stick around for shot rock, and not leave the Schaeffer team anything for a big score. And here is Saint Amand's first, as she looks to take out the red, hopefully keeping her back yellow alive.
Matt, even if she happens to get rid of that back yellow, not the end of the world, so long as she sticks around. That is the most crucial part in this shot coming down the ice here, is you want to make sure you stick here.
Sweeper's going on it hard to keep it straight, as it looks like it's just over curling a bit, and she catches about half the rock on the right hand side, just going under the far red, missing the double. And Kyle, that is not exactly what the Saint Amand team was looking for after that shot, leaving red sitting what looks like 1 for sure, possibly 2, with a shot to sit a few and score a handful.
Yeah, Matt, a little bit of an unfortunate roll there, stuffing the red into the yellow there, leaving it in the back four. Looks like they are thinking of playing a draw to you, Matt. Is that what you're seeing there?
That's what I'm seeing here, and it's a little bit questionable when you have a wide open yellow to hit and sit possibly four, depending on if that top red is in or not. But again, just as we've seen Schaeffer do in the past 3 ends, she's really looking to put on the pressure here and looking to get a 5 on the board. With this call, I believe that's the reasoning I could go for there, Kyle.
Which is not a bad reasoning at all. Getting 5 and 4, being down 1, going into the 5th would not be a bad scenario at all. It'd be a really good comeback. These girls have played well the entire end thus far. The rock's sitting in their favor at the moment. So let's just see where this one comes down the ice. It looks like it's over curling a little bit, possibly even a little bit light. They like to try to keep it off of that yellow rock in the edge of the 8, barely making it over the hog line as it happens. That's just a little bit of an unfortunate shot there, guarding that yellow rock, the one that they would ideally like to hit on the next one to sit a few.
Yeah, Kyle, if you're going to throw the draw in a situation like that, you have to think about tolerance, and your tolerance there is not light. You'd rather be heavy. You can always come down to that yellow. So an unfortunate miss there for Schaeffer, but she tried to play it aggressive, and I respect her for that. And Saint Amand looks to play a hit here to sit possibly 2, but for sure 1, and force the Schaeffer rink to a hard shot for 2 or a single.
Yeah, that's for sure, Matt. It'll definitely be a very tough shot. It is questionable whether that yellow is outcounting that red. It is so hard to tell. They are very close rocks.
And here's Saint Amand throwing her last stone in the 4th end. And Sweeper's going hard to keep it straight, as it seems to be over curling just a touch. And Saint Amand going hard here, trying to keep it straight to at least sit 1 after her last, and she hits about half a rock and just rolls out, leaving Schaeffer a chance for 3 if she elects to hit the yellow rock.
Yeah, Matt. It's definitely a draw for 1. It looks like could be a draw for 2. Still unsure at this moment. They must believe that top rock in the 12-foot is out of the house. That would be why they are not attempting the hit. They're going for the draw for 2. Definitely 1.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. And Schaeffer, although she was light on her first one, we have seen her draw weight be pretty good so far this game. So she looks to keep that up and throw a good one here. Looks like she has to be about full 8 to score a point or 2 in this end. And last rock of the 4th end here, as Sweepers are waving it off. Appears to be a little bit heavy as it's coming down the sheet, running fairly nice line wise, but this rock just seems to be sailing a little bit deep, and Schaeffer, Saint Amand will sweep it through the back of the house.
Yeah, Matt, we'll see now what happens here. Will it be 1 yellow or 1 red? It's hard to tell. The girls are looking over it. Could be a measure.
Yeah, and we saw Saint Amand signal as if they think it was their yellow that scored 1 point. But I believe they're going to be measuring this one to see who scores 1. It would be a huge 1 for Schaeffer. If not, Saint Amand will be up 7-0 after 4, taking full control of this game. So very important measure here, as we see the vice of Saint Amand, Valerie Martin, grab the measuring stick and measure these 2 rocks biting the 8-foot. You know, Kyle, I'm pretty proud of us not having an overhead camera right now. We knew it was pretty close, and we didn't make any predictions on what one was closer. So
I think we're doing all right. It is a shame we don't have those overhead cameras. Unfortunately, we cannot get them working on our streams. Just having a little bit of a technical difficulty with them. Our equipment here has been giving us a little bit of a hard time throughout this weekend, yesterday and this morning. I wasn't here yesterday, but Matt here had been going through it yesterday. Lots of struggles going on, but very, very well done, Matt. Things are running beautifully right now. The streams are looking good. Hopefully everybody on the stream is enjoying them, and it does appear like yellow got the point there, so it will be a steal of one for St. Amand, going up 7-0 after 4.
Sometimes curling just isn't as fun as it can be on the Nintendo Switch. With up to 4 players per console, you can enjoy curling with your friends and family anywhere, anytime. Let's play curling. Available now only on Nintendo Switch.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And we are out here in Waterdown. And you know what? If you are sick and tired of being in the city, you know, we all love Toronto. I love Toronto, but you know what? Maybe it's a little bit too crowded. Maybe there's a little bit too much gridlock. Maybe there's no place to walk and go see cool stuff. So come on out to Waterdown. It's awesome. Beautiful little village you can walk, great shops, cafes. We have the Waterdown Memorial Park just over the street. It's got a splash pad, baseball diamond. It's got a skateboarding thing for kids. We have a huge Fortino's. I was in there today getting flowers. It's crazy, that store. It's unbelievable. So you have Bike Pass, and you have the Bruce Trail, and you have a ton of parks. And we're in this lovely, quiet little subdivision. And look behind me, just say, freaking gorgeous. This house is spectacular. Custom built, beautiful finishes. We have decor black stainless steel appliances, quartz counters throughout, 3/4-inch white oak hardwood floor, ceramic tile. You want light, you want windows, you want bright. This house is gorgeous, super modern, open concept main floor, living, dining. It's got a butler's pantry, this office on the main floor. Upstairs we have 3 bedrooms, and you know what? Every bedroom gets their own bathroom. And the master has a steamed glass shower in it with a beautiful soaker tub. It's just luxury, luxury, high-end, luxury, high-end.
Welcome back here, folks, to Barrie. We are in the fifth end of the Schaeffer versus St. Amand game. St. Amand leading 7-0 after 4. It looks like St. Amand's first rock either went through the rings or just short. I wasn't paying enough attention to the stream apparently. Either way, not a horrible result. They are up 7 in 5. It is okay if one of theirs does not make it in play. This shot for Schaeffer here looks like they're getting that line a little bit better. They're getting it off that center line, more to the corner, which is exactly what they want. They want those rocks to the wings, keeping rocks out of the center line area, which helps St. Amand.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. And although it's unfortunate for the Schaeffer team in that last end, they look to bounce back here and hopefully score a few points for their own morale. And St. Amand here going through once again on a draw. Like Kyle said, not the end of the world, having a nice lead of 7 in the fifth end, but not something that Mackenzie Crawley was probably hoping for on her first 2.
Yeah, Matt, I'm sure you're speaking from experience there as a lead. Throwing rocks through, something you have a little bit of experience on based off our last weekend here in Barrie.
Oh, absolutely. This ice is a lot faster than I'm definitely used to, so I was definitely guilty of throwing a few like Mackenzie did on her last 2. I definitely did it more than 4 or 5 times, so no shame here for Mackenzie.
Looks like Team Schaeffer here electing to put it top 12, possibly even just short. Double centers, which is that stopped quicker than I was expecting there, Matt. Not a bad spot at all. Really, really good actually. It's a really nice corner guard for them. They can use that in the next coming rocks to come around and force that play to the sides.
Yeah, for sure. You see both their guards are off center line, which is something we haven't seen the Schaeffer team be able to set up in the past couple of ends. So this is good as they're able to hopefully put a little bit more pressure on the St. Amand team and score a few. Here's St. Amand looking to draw around and put a little pressure themselves onto the Schaeffer team as they,
It looks like, to me, Matt, it looks like they almost elected to throw away. For it to happen 3 times in a row, Matt, I feel like it would need to be called, which is it's not a bad call. They are up 7. It keeps things out of play for sure, keeps things nice and easy. It does, however, allow Schaeffer to set up the end however they so please, which is what we're seeing happen here. Schaeffer looks like she's electing to go right behind her centerline guard to try to give her a nice shot so she can draw around fully buried.
Yeah, I mean, you see 3 misses like that from the St. Amand team, who has been playing well all game. Definitely uncharacteristic, so I can't imagine that they were 3 zeros there. I definitely think that was the call, and if I'm the Schaeffer team, I'm thinking, yeah, this is awesome. They scored 7 in 4 ends on us. Why can't we do it back?
Exactly, Matt. That's just the thing. At the 4th end break, you really know you got half a game left to go, so whatever your opponent scored on you, you can score on them back.
Exactly, and a pretty easy call here for the St. Amand rink as they look to peel away these red guards that are starting to clog up the house. Keep this end clean. As we saw after their first 3 rocks, they do not want anything near the house at all. And this one just seems to be over curling a bit, looking like it might hit about 3/4 of a rock on the high side, and it rolls out. And a nice peel there from, pardon me, that is the low side of the rock, not the high side, corrected by Kyle. And it rolls out a nice peel there from Avery Howell, Rachel Nickel, and Schaeffer now looks to come around that center guard. Once again, that's a little bit closer to the house, a little more in control for the Schaeffer rink here.
Yeah, this is what she's been setting up for this whole end so far. we can see that she's really been pushing to try to get a rock buried on the center line, on the top button area with a rock guarded, making it really hard for the St. Amand team to get around there, hit it out. It forces a draw game.
Yeah, and this is something that you see a lot of aggressive teams do. Not a lot of, well, no blanks or no really clean ends we have seen in this game so far. And these teams like to play aggressive, like to play with a lot of rocks in play, especially the Schaeffer team. And we see that being evident right here as they have thrown 3 guards and now a draw that seems to be coming around the corner guard pretty nicely as the sweepers are hard on it, trying to get it into the house. And it appears as though it is just biting, maybe just short, but a good double corner for sure for the Schaeffer team here as they look to capitalize.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. Great double corner on that one. I do feel like that one is just shy of the rings. Double corner is really the ideal situation for them. It allows for the plays to be taken to the wings while St. Amand needs to use their peels to get rid of those rocks.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. And a little bit of an overcurl here, and leaving a center guard up is not what Valerie Martin was looking to do there on her first. But it leaves Schaeffer an opportunity here to come around either the center guard that was just thrown up by the St. Amand team, obviously not on purpose, but it's still a center guard, or come around their own corners. And here we see our second interaction of the game as the St. Amand rink uses, or pardon me, the Schaeffer rink uses their first as their coach comes out. And I can only assume he's going to tell her to come around the corner guards here. Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you the same question, Matt. That's what I feel like their coach would be saying as well. Coming around the center is really what St. Amand wants you to do. She wants that play to be forced to the center as much as possible, so she has a very small area where she has to hit to get rid of rocks. Playing to the center may be counterintuitive to some people who do not watch curling as often, as you are not getting close to that button area. However, it forces the wings to the side, leaving that button path open for a draw in the event that the end doesn't quite set up as Team Schaeffer wants.
Yeah, exactly. And we see Team Schaeffer putting down the broom now for that draw behind the corner guard, just as you said, Kyle. What a great skip you are, eh?
Well, second actually, Matt, but
that's right.
I have done my fair share of skipping in the past, and it surprisingly still comes back to me every now and again.
There you go. And here's the vice for the Schaeffer team. Throwing a draw into the house. Line looks like it's coming in really well around these corner guards. Sweepers aren't touching it, and it just wrecks on the tight guard, and it rolls to the top 4 area, and it will be wide open for the St. Amand team. And the Schaeffer team looks like they're still smiling out there and having a good time, and that's always what we like to see in the sport of curling.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. Just that rock was coming in a bit faster than I think they wanted. So I think they just left that one a little bit unswept because they needed to tick off that guard to make sure that rock stayed in play.
Yeah, exactly. And now we have Valerie Martin throwing her second rock and attempting to hit out the previously thrown Schaeffer rock. And they have the curlers on it to get it by the corner guard and hoping to stick around as it hits about a third of the rock and will roll out. But still a good shot for the St. Amand rink as they don't want to keep any rocks around for Schaeffer to possibly freeze on and create a big end.
Yeah, that's just it, Matt. And the sweepers really get credit on that rock. That rock may have been a little outside of what the broom was called. Those sweepers really brought it back in there to make sure it got off that corner guard and hit that rock, which was the main goal of that shot.
Exactly. Some really good sweeping there from the Schaeffer front end, or pardon me, the St. Amand front end, as they saved that one for sure. And we see Schaeffer coming around the corner guards once again, looking to take control still and score 3 with their last 3 rocks in this end. The line's coming in really nicely as the sweepers are on it, looking to get it to the top 4 area. And it's by the first guard, looking to get past the second guard. It's curling up really close to it, and it does. And the rock continues to slide as it stops just in around the back 8 area, biting the 8-foot, dead buried. What a shot by the Schaeffer.
Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful shot made on that one, perfectly buried. As you can see, the angles from this camera are really evident of what the thrower can see in the hack, which is not a whole lot, if any, of that rock in the back 8. It really forces the St. Amand rink to play the same shot, come down to it, just sit slightly to the right side of it, get shot rock out of it, and force Team Schaeffer to their 1.
Yeah, and it's not exactly what St. Amand was looking for in this end, as they were hoping to keep it a little bit cleaner for sure, but now they're forced to play a little more aggressive, and we actually see them coming around their own center guard to really limit that scoring area for the Schaeffer rink. I like the call, very aggressive, and we have seen Tabitha's draw weight on point so far today, so let's hope she can make another one here and make a good shot.
Yeah, that's just it, Matt. Coming around that center is the ideal shot for them. They are using their rock to their advantage here in the 5th end of curling. We can see that going around that center guard there, Matt, really putting it top 4, top button, really forces Team Schaeffer to make a really delicate shot to get rid of it and sit there 2, if at all possible.
Yeah, and on a positive side for the Schaeffer team here, if you get any sort of a miss from St. Amand, or even if she makes a good one, there's always the opportunity to come around, tap it back, leaving yourself a shot for possibly 3 on your last and get yourself back into this game.
Yeah, no doubt there, Matt.
And here's the St. Amand rock. It gets past the guard and it's sliding. Sweepers aren't touching it, sliding deep past the T-line and just sits about back 4, 3/4 open on the right-hand side. I couldn't doubt that the Schaeffer team should be making a play on this one to hopefully sit 2 and looking to score 3.
Yeah, Matt, I would agree. It just overcurled a little bit on them there. That weight wasn't far off by any means. Just got a little bit caught off that center line. Once it got off that center line, went a little bit harder than they expected. This should be, I'm thinking, a backline weight here, Matt?
I think you can probably even get away with throwing hack at it with how much we've seen Schaeffer's rocks curl tonight. But backline to hack weight here, looking to sit 2. A really important shot for the Schaeffer Inc. if they want to get back into this game. It's shots like these, Kyle, where it's more than just the skip who has pressure on themselves. This is a team shot where the sweepers will really be able to affect the rock, whether it be curl it over if it's a little bit outside, or keep it straight if it's a little bit tight, or hopefully just clean it all the way down to sit 2.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Matt. A lot of times the thrower gets a lot of the credit for the shot, even though the sweeper swept it the whole way. The person in the house called the right line the whole way down. It is truly a team shot on these ones. It looks like it's just over curling a bit. That's okay though, if they can get it around their corner guard, possibly freeze it onto the one that's already back there. Just make sure it gets in the house here. This looks like a really good secondary shot.
Yeah, plan B never hurt anyone. And that was a really nice shot there by the Schaeffer Inc. as they throw it behind the corner guard, leaving St. Amand no option except to play really aggressive once again and having to throw the same shot as she did on her last.
Yeah, that's just it. She just threw this shot. She wasn't far off. The weight wasn't far off. Just a little bit more line here, and she's made this shot out of her hand.
Exactly. Pretty much the same weight for the sweepers, and they'll be able to get it there. Hopefully being able to manage it a little bit better to be completely buried and leave Schaeffer with a super difficult shot to score on her last.
That's just it, Matt. I didn't know. I didn't know where to go with that. I didn't fucking know.
And here's St. Amand with her last stone of the 5th end, leading 7-0 here at the Barrie Curling Club in the U18 Stu Sells Junior Championship. And this one looks like it's over curling just a bit, hitting the guard on the nose, tapping it up, but it's just short of the house. And this should leave Schaeffer that same shot as she had on her first, about a hack weight hit to score 3 points.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. It looks like that rock just curled a little more than her last. It may have taken away a smidge more of that rock in the back 4. I think it is still there, like you say, with a hack weight, backline weight shot. There is a shot for 3 here, and boy, would that really change the momentum of the Schaeffer rink.
Yeah, that would be a huge momentum turn here in this game. And like I said earlier, if they can score 7 in the first 4, why can't we score 7 in the last 4? That's what's going through Schaeffer's head right now. So a 3 would put them on the board, and a comeback is in the making. Last rock of the 5th end here, the Stu Sells U18 Championship. Schaeffer let it go, and the line looks pretty good to start. The sweepers aren't touching it, but it seems to be coming over, and they're going hard now to get by the center guards. Will they get a by? Sweeping's really hard, and it just wrecks on the top guard, giving a steal of 1 to the St. Amand team. And it will be 8-0 after 5. And we will head to commercial breaks and be back for more curling in just a moment.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. So go to stusells.ca, see all the photos, the videos, and give me Stu a call for a personal tour.
And we are back now in the 6th end of this Schaeffer St. Amand game. St. Amand stealing 1 more point there, giving themselves an 8-point lead, 8-0 after 5, heading into the 6th end. And it's got to be a confidence booster for the St. Amand rink as we see them once again, as they did last end, throwing their first rock through. We can only assume that it'll be the same on their next 2, Kyle.
Yeah, Matt, would you ever consider, with the way that last end played out, maybe being a little bit more cautious here, throwing maybe a few less through? Because that could have been a very scary turn there at the end of the last end.
Yeah, for sure, Kyle. You should be looking to throw 1 top 4 and take control, even if you are up a bundle. Because as we saw last end, it's really easy to come back and crack a 3 or crack a 5 and get yourself right back into the game, even if you're down a few points. That being said, St. Amand still chose to throw it through, and we'll see if it plays out like it did last end, where they did, in the end, end up stealing 1, Kyle.
And I must say, Matt, the resilience of this Schaeffer team, being down 8 in the 6th, still playing the game. You gotta love the grit from these girls. They're putting their heart into this game. Even though it may not be going the exact way they wanted, they are still putting all of their effort into trying to make this work.
Yeah, you love to see that, Kyle. Sometimes when the score is the way it is right now, it can be a little demoralizing, but this team looks to have smiles on their faces and keeping it positive despite the score. And an unfortunate miss there for Grace Curley as she ended up hogging her first rock. But once again, it's all about bouncing back, especially in a game like this, so we'll see if she can do that on her next. And St. Amand here doing exactly what we thought they would, Kyle, as they are throwing 1 more through the house, keeping this end clean. Makes a lot more sense after we see a miss from the Schaeffer rink on their first. And after 3 rocks, St. Amand is exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, exactly. That nice open house, nothing in play, nothing to obstruct any shots that they might want to throw in the future. Schaeffer here trying to put some rocks up front. They really need those guards. They're crucial for scoring points here in this 6th end.
Yeah, you got it right there, Kyle. And here's Grace Curley throwing her second rock of the 6th end, looking to throw another center guard and create something for the Schaeffer team to come around and hopefully bundle up a bunch of rocks in the 4-foot and score a few points.
Yeah, you can see the inside sweeper trying to knife it towards that center line. They're trying to get it to move a little bit more than they want, than it was going initially. you can see that did make a difference. They did get it on that center line, which is not a bad spot considering that the St. Amand team cannot tick that rock.
Yeah, exactly. The no-tick rule being in effect. It's a huge shot there for Grace Curley, especially after missing your first. It's always nice to bounce back with a beautiful shot like that. And we see Rachel Nickel here with the third rock for the St. Amand team, throwing it through once again, trying to keep this end as clean as possible with little to no rocks in play. For them, even if they give up a deuce here, taking hammer back in 7 would mean control for them, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. You're up 8, giving up 2, you'd just be up 6. Still a really good spot to be in, playing the 7th end. Definitely trying to minimize the damage, if not get rid of it completely.
Exactly, and we see the Schaeffer team coming down the rink here, and they're all smiles. This is great to see, as Avery Howell is going to attempt to draw around the center line guard and make a nice draw to the top 4 foot here. And Kyle, there's something just really nice in curling about throwing a perfect center guard and then a draw around. I know myself as a lead, it's a very confidence boosting when I do it. You just feel like you have a good sense for the ice.
Oh, absolutely. It just gives you that little boost of confidence you need, especially in times like this where you're maybe not playing as well as you would have wished. It gives you that chance. Here we see that it bumps that top red into the ring, still leaving a center guard. Not the end of the world. However, it does give the chance for Team St. Amand to get rid of that center line guard, peeling it out, keeping the end nice and clean as per their goals.
Yeah, and I like the turn that Tabitha has chosen for this shot here. Choosing to throw the in-turn. She knows that her second, Rachel Nickel, may be a little bit wide, and that's okay because she can always come back to the one that's in the 12 foot and hit that one in case. Obviously, that's not the case for Rachel here, as she makes a perfect peel and clears it up, leaving nothing for the Schaeffer rink to come around.
Absolutely beautiful shot there, Matt.
And now the Schaeffer team deciding what to do here in the 6th end, as they are down 8-0 and they are lacking guards up front, but they're looking to get back into it here and throwing a guard on their own, or possibly a corner guard on the other side there, Kyle. Just looking to create some points here.
Yeah, Matt, it looks like with that ice, it does look to me as if they are going to the right side of the sheet. Oh, pardon me, correction. It does look like they are going in front of their red rock now. Definitely the call. You need rocks in front of your own here to ensure that the St. Amand team is going to continue to peel, leaving you a shot for 2 in the end.
Yeah, and even a shot for 2 here for Schaeffer would be huge. So making these next few guards would be a huge confidence booster for this team. And here comes the rock. It looks like it's over curling a little. Sweepers are going hard on it, trying to make it a perfect guard. And a pretty good result here for the Schaeffer team. Although it overcurled a little, it is a good spot for a corner guard. And it leaves St. Amand with the decision of whether or not she wants to chase the one in the house or continue to peel as was their game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see here that she is chasing the one in the house. However, this does leave the option if, for whatever reason, they are tight on this one, it does leave the option to hit the guard, which is also a very safe shot.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle. And we do see the opposite here from Valerie Martin, as she appears to be a tiny bit outside and just misses the red in the house. And that is a flash for Valerie Martin, leaving the Schaeffer rink with an opportunity here to set up for a few points if they make a nice draw around their one in the top 12, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit of an unfortunate error on that one. Just missed the wrong side of tolerance on that shot. That's okay, though. They've been playing really well so far this game. You couldn't play perfect the entire time. It is bound to happen to get a miss somewhere. And they're still in a very good spot. They are up 8 here. They just need to get rid of a few rocks.
And here's the throw from the vice of the Schaeffer team, Sydney Holtzman, as she looks to come around the one in the top 12. And this one just ends up a little bit light right in front of their last corner guard and leaves Saint Amand with the same shot as her last, an open hit on the 1 and the 12 foot, looking to hit and roll away and take back control of this end.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely looking for redemption here on this shot, getting rid of that one in the house. Looks like it's going to just barely tick it, and it does. It rolls out. The red is gone, however. That was the goal of that shot, Matt, to make sure there was nothing in the house that could have hurted them.
Yeah, Saint Amand was looking for just to peel that one off there, leaving Schaeffer with nothing for a possible 3 and leaving them with 2 shots left and a max of 2 points this end. And here's Schaeffer looking to play a draw around her corner guards on her last stone here. Her first throw of the last end, or the 6th end. Oh, that was the Vice's second.
The rock coming in here, we can see that it is looking very close for the right draw weight. Unfortunately, the line is not quite there, ending in the same spot that the previous shot that the Saint Amand team just hit. They have the exact same path here. They can afford to take a little bit less ice here. They saw it not move exactly how they would have liked on the last 2. A chance to learn here and make the shot exactly how they want.
Yeah, Kyle, you saw 2 back-to-back shots there for Schaeffer as they tried to play the draw, and both over curled, except for that one. That one just seemed to hang out there a little more, hang out on the center line, and not come over as much as their first 2. So they're possibly assuming that it was going to just curl up a little bit more. And with that, they leave Saint Amand with the same shot that they just threw twice. As you said, they know this path. It should be a routine hit and stick for the skipper.
Yeah, Matt, you just got to make sure this rock goes. That's the big thing here. Keeping the house clean, not leaving anything in there for the Schaeffer rink to accumulate points on.
Exactly, Kyle. And here's the skipper, Tabitha, Saint Amand, with her first in the 6th end.
Line looks as though it's been called a little bit tight. Weight looks very close here. We're watching it come down the ice. Very close. Looks like they made the hit. Will it stick? It will stick. Top of the button, right on the center line. Beautiful shot made there.
Yeah, sweepers were on that one right out of her hand. It seemed as though they thought it was going to jump and go sideways on her. Luckily for her, the sweepers were able to keep it out there, and it was a beautiful hit and roll to the 4-foot, pretty much taking those corner guards out of play unless Schaeffer makes a perfect hit and roll around them.
Yeah, that's just it, Matt. The hit and roll is really hard. Hitting and rolling on curling rocks is a lot harder than the pros make it seem. You have to hit it with the right weight, the right angle of that rock. Everything is so delicate coming down that ice. Getting that roll to be perfect is very, very difficult. Have full faith in the Schaeffer team on this one to make that perfect hit and roll.
And here comes down the ice. Sweepers not touching it so far, and the outside sweepers aren't looking to make a curl over. And this one does just not come over enough as it hangs out there. We've seen that spot run straight now on her twice as it just didn't curl over. And she misses the yellow in the house, leaving Saint Amand a shot to sit to.
Yeah, Matt. Looks like we have an interaction here from the Saint Amand team, wondering what they should be doing with this shot here. Now, in your opinion, what would you think the coach is telling them to say right now?
I think the coach is just telling them that at this point in the game, you want to just sit 2 in the house. It doesn't matter where, and leave Schaeffer only a shot for 1. And if you're giving up 1 here, that's a win in my books.
Yeah, no doubt, Matt. I think You know, the top 12, top 8 area is a really good spot to be. Sure, it leaves you a double, but it's a double for one, and it's a very tough shot to make on these ice conditions, where if you are in or out at all on your release, it's very, very unforgiving, very hard to manage. But that looks to me like they are coming around the Reds in the corner there.
Yeah, and I don't think this is a bad call here, Kyle. You don't want to leave Schaeffer a possible blank opportunity if you leave a double and roll out here. So doing this eliminates that possibility and forces Schaeffer to take one or give up a steal, which is exactly what St. Amand wants.
Absolutely. They are willing to give her a shot for one, as they will be up 7 at that point in the game, which is a very good scenario to be in.
And last rock here for St. Amand on sheet 3 in the 6th end at the Stucells U18 Championship.
Sweepers on this one a lot of the way down. Looks like Tabitha is telling them to get off. It looks like she feels it's a bit heavy. Sweepers still on it though. Rock looks like it's very, very nice coming in there. Beautifully managed rock. Beautiful line call on that one. Absolutely perfect, perfectly guarded. Very tough shot to get rid of them both here.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what St. Amand was looking for as they're leaving Schaeffer a single shot for one. And they're leaving her a hit at that. And then hopefully for Schaeffer, she can make this hit and stick on the nose and get one. She's fired up coming down the ice, telling her teammates she wants points. She's super excited getting into the hack. We love to see smiles still in the 6th end when you're down 8-0.
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. The smile on her face makes me so happy to see right now. The fact that she is so pumped up to throw this shot to get her one, absolutely amazing. It shows you the love that she has for this sport, the dedication she's put in, and her fight as well.
Here's last rock for Schaeffer in the 6th end.
Looks like it'll be a close one coming down here.
Sweepers
right off. Oh, we got a close clean. Looks like it's starting to go on them a little bit here. Very close. Yelling all the way down. Very, very close rock here. Coming in. Just
makes
the slight hit and tap on it. Sitting shot for one. Schaeffer getting their 1 in 6 here at the Barrie Curling Club.
And we see high fives here from the Schaeffer team to the St. Amand team. And that's great camaraderie between these two young teams who will be seeing each other for a long time in the future.
Absolutely, Matt. The respect that both of these teams have for each other is absolutely wonderful to see, because as you said, they will see each other for many, many years to come, as you and I have both seen making our way up through U15, U18 juniors in Ontario.
Exactly, Kyle. And we do see handshakes here as St. Amand takes this one 8-1 in this draw of the U18 Stucells Championship. There will be streams tonight. Unfortunately for us, no commentary, but we will be back tomorrow morning with quarterfinals at 8 a.m. here at Barrie Curling Club in Barrie, Ontario. Until then, everyone have a great night, and we will see you all tomorrow.